Dr. Eric Shoemake with Axiom Health Solutions, and I'm going to talk to you about exercise today. This is one of our 5 essentials, maximize movement, because you are designed to move. And you hear a lot about miracle drugs that are out there. There's new weight loss drugs, and the cure for cancer is supposedly supposed to be right around the corner, which never happens. And those things are not true because we have more drugs than we've ever had. We also have more sickness and disease than we've ever had. So the truth is there's no miracle drug, but the closest we have when it comes to longevity is exercise. If you want to live a long, healthy life, exercise is your ticket. So a couple of things about exercise that are important. And I'm going to show you how you can exercise more efficiently today to do it in a shorter amount of time and get the most bang for your buck, get the right hormone response to keep your brain young, to keep your body young, to build more muscle, and to burn more fat. If that sounds too good to be true, make sure you listen up. So here's what happens when you exercise. Number one, you're less likely to die of heart disease and Alzheimer's because aerobic and muscular fitness are the most powerful predictors of heart and brain decline. The less fit you are, both muscularly and cardiovascularly, the more likely you are to die of heart disease and Alzheimer's. Increasing from 0 minutes a week, if you're not an exerciser now, if we could just get you doing 90 minutes a week, that decreases your risk of dying of everything by 20%, which no drug on planet Earth would do. And then 150 minutes, which is 5 days a week, 30 minutes a day, just going for a walk, decreases risk of Alzheimer's and heart disease by 50%. That is a miracle drug if I've ever seen it. So why don't we exercise? We know that we should. We know that we could, and a lot of times we don't. That error in judgment is what keeps so many people sick. But the honest answer is you have excuses about why you don't do it, but those excuses will always be there for you, but your opportunity won't. There will be a time where you're not healthy enough to exercise anymore because you didn't exercise. There will be a time when you can't exercise. So you won't always have the opportunity, but if you're watching this video right now, you have the opportunity now. So let's get past these excuses. So the excuses are things like no energy. I don't like it. I don't have time. My joints hurt. I'm gonna show you how to overcome all of those things, because if you don't have energy, the solution is go exercise because you actually get energy. You don't have to like it. You just got to do it, right? I used to exercise and ride my bike about 10 hours a week, and I was lucky because that was my pastime. I loved it. I got to hang out with my friends. I got to compete. It ticked a lot of boxes for me. But then I stopped racing bikes when they stopped racing during COVID. So then I'm like, well, I still need to exercise. Well, now I'm the one on the treadmill doing the thing I don't like, but I'm doing it because I like exercising more than I like Alzheimer's. I like exercising more than I like feeling terrible. So even though I don't love it, I still go do it because it's just part of what it takes to be well, and it doesn't take that much. And I always feel good afterwards. Because of the endorphins. And I feel good because of that sense of accomplishment as well. There's so many positives to exercise, even if you think you don't like it. If you don't have time, we're going to show you how to do that. And you can do it in 12 minutes a day with surge training. And then what to do if your joints hurt or if you have joint pain as well. So what are the things that happen during traditional exercise? When I talk about aerobic exercise here, that's like going for a jog, being like a runner. That would be getting on the treadmill, doing what a lot of people do, just slogging away on the treadmill or the stair climber. And some good things happen during that time. Traditionally, you're not working that hard. You can talk to the person next to you. It's kind of that traditional aerobics. So what happens there? Your heart rate goes down, your blood pressure goes down. Those are great things. It keeps your brain young by increasing circulation to your brain, so it gets more blood supply to your brain. That's a great thing. It aids in detoxification and stimulates your lymphatic system, so your body's detoxing at the same time, especially when you're sweating. So all of those things happen during exercise. But then after that traditional exercise, or cardio people call it, some negative things happen. So it raises your stress hormones, like specifically cortisol. Now, cortisol makes you eat more. It stimulates fat storage around your gut. It decreases your immune system. So cortisol decreases your immune system. So it does all of those things afterwards. It decreases your testosterone and human growth hormone. I'm going to show you in a minute how human growth hormone is your fountain of youth hormone. It's the most important hormone you have in your body for longevity is HGH. And that actually goes down after aerobic exercise. So what if there was a way that we could exercise that you get all the benefits but none of the cons? Wouldn't that be cool? And it doesn't take you nearly as long. Well, that's what surge training is. And surge training is higher intensity, shorter duration. So you're doing little bits of exercise in a more intense fashion, and then you're recovering. You may have heard of it called like HIIT, high intensity interval training. So we're going to raise the intensity because we want more human growth hormone. We want we want more testosterone. We want, even if you're a woman, you want more of that because that's what helps build lean muscle, and that's what helps you stay young long term. So it's intermittent. So you work and then you rest, and then you work and you rest, and you work and you rest. So we're going to show you how to do that here, and this is why we do it. So the effects of surge training. I showed you the marathon runner. He didn't look all that healthy. Well, look at this person. That person looks fit. That's what I want to look like. Well, what does that person do? They're a sprinter. So they run fast and intensely for a shorter amount of time, and then they rest and they do it again. That's how you train for sprinting. And to train for sprinting, you don't go run 10 miles, you run 50 sprints, right? So what happens when you do that is HGH is released in the body, which is why most sprinters are big. They have muscles, even though they're not in the gym lifting a lot of weights. They just have a lot of HGH, which helps you have muscles naturally. Fat is used in a greater way after a higher intensity of exercise because your HGH is increased and you're going to burn fat. Look how lean this person is. Your beta endorphin levels go up as well. So you feel better afterwards. That's the kind of runner's high that you get afterwards. And then you get more growth. Your muscle fibers grow, so you get more muscle. And again, that's a direct predictor of heart disease and Alzheimer's. So if you have more lean muscle, doesn't mean you have to look huge, but having more lean muscle is always going to be a good thing. So what does surge training actually look like? So again, if you don't have time to do it, I love this slide. This is doctor talking to his patient who's not in shape. And he says, what fits into your busy schedule better? Exercising, not an hour a day, but 4 minutes a day. I'm going to show you 4 minutes, or being dead 24 hours a day. So what fits into your schedule better? Exercising 4 minutes a day or being dead 24 hours a day? And that's really as blunt as you can put it. So we're going to show you how to do this in just 4 minutes. And this is how. So this is called a surge. Okay, so this is one surge that you can do. So before I do this, I have to give the disclaimer. If you feel like your heart's not healthy enough for exercise, go get it checked by a doctor. Make sure you're able to do this. But most people can do this even if you're not in shape. You just wouldn't be doing it as intensely as me. So in other words, if we're both on a spin bike, I'm probably in better shape than most people watching this video because I've cycled for 15 years. I'm going to put out more watts. I'm going to do more work in that amount of time. But our heart rates would be about the same. Our hard breathing would be about the same. You just wouldn't have to put out as many watts, but you can still have an intense exercise. So intensity is relative based on basically how in shape you are. So if you're really not in great shape right now and you haven't exercised much, it's not going to take you much to get this heart rate up. So what I want you to do is you're going to do 20 seconds on, right? And then 20 seconds off. So let's say I'm on the elliptical machine at the gym. I'm going to go 20 seconds pretty much as hard as I can to get my heart rate up into the training zone. And what the training zone looks like is kind of like out of breath like that. So you can't talk to the person next to you. You can't have a conversation. You're just getting your training zone up as much as you can. Let me grab a drink of water here real quick. Okay. So you're getting yourself up into that. When you do that, that higher intensity, that's going to release human growth hormone. That's going to start decreasing cortisol levels. All those things happen when you have a higher intensity of the exercise. So 20 seconds on, kind of as fast as you can go. And then after that, I go really slow for 20 seconds, like very slow to bring my heart rate back down. And then you see the next one here, 20 seconds on. I'm going to do that again, 20 seconds on, as fast as I can go, out of breath. And then I'm going to go 20 seconds off to bring my heart rate back down, my breathing back down. Now, I'm not going to go back completely to baseline. I'll still be breathing harder than I was at the beginning, but that 20 seconds gives you a chance to come back down. And then you're going to do it one more time, 20 seconds on and then 2 minutes off. That really allows you to come back down to baseline. So 20 seconds on, 20 off, 20 on, 20 off, 20 on, 2 minutes off. So if you look at the ons, that's 20 seconds of exercise, 20 seconds of exercise, 20 seconds of exercise. That's 1 minute per surge set. So if you repeat that 3 more times, if you do it 4 times, that's the 4 minutes of exercise that we're talking about. Okay, 4 minutes of exercise there. And you do that 3 times a week. So you do 4 sets of surge, and you do that 3 times a week. So if you look at that, that's what, a minute of exercise, 2 minutes off. That's going to take you, what, roughly 12 minutes. So you can get that done in 12 minutes. Now you can do the elliptical. You can do running in place. You can do burpees. You can do jumping jacks. You can, if you have a stair at home, you can go up and down on the steps. There's so many things that you can do. So what specific exercises could you do there? Again, jumping jacks like we did in school, burpees, push-ups. If you have bad knees, you can always do push-ups or upper body. Stairs or stair climbing. If you have a step at home, you can just run up and down on your steps. or walk up and down as quick as you can on your step. One step up, one step down, one step up, one step down. You don't have to do a whole flight of stairs. Especially if you have bad balance, you can just be on, if your balance isn't great, this will help your balance. But you can also just stand there, right next to the rail and just go up and down on one step. Treadmill is a great way to do it. Put the treadmill on an incline and walk on that thing, as fast as you can for 20 seconds and then back down for 20 seconds. The elliptical, stationary bike. If you have bad knees or bad ankles or something like that, stationary bike is going to be great for you. Anything that gets your heart rate up. So if you have joint limitations, you can just Google high intensity, low impact exercises. High intensity, low impact exercises, and I'll show you how to modify a lot of these things. But like I had a really bad elbow injury, which was a few years ago now. So I broke my elbow into about 80 pieces, and I can't do certain exercises with my arm anymore. Okay, I can't do certain things there. So I have to modify those a little bit. So I can't do bench press anymore, but I can do flies, right? So you just got to figure out what you can do. So if you have bad knees, I would do the stationary bike would be great. Push up, something upper body would be great, or just a low impact version of those things. If you have a bad shoulder, you're probably not going to do push-ups, but you could do the treadmill, you could do the stairs, you could do the steps. So that is what surge training actually looks like, and you can do it. So again, if you just do 4 sets of surge training, which is 12 minutes a day, you do that 3 times a week, you're going to get all the benefits I talked about on slide 1. And then what I do the other days, you don't necessarily have to do anything the other days. That could be all the exercise you do for the week because you're getting it done in a smarter fashion. Because what happens after the exercise is still those hormones are still responding for up to 24 hours after the exercise. So even though you only did 12 minutes of exercise, you stimulated the right systems in your body to be pretty darn fit. And I proved that because when I first got back into cycling, I didn't have a long time to be riding. I only had about 3 or 4 hours a week instead of 12. Which is what most people do if you want to be competitive. It's like 12 hours on the bike. So I started doing high intensity interval training, and then I placed in 2 races. So I got second place in one race and third in one race from only training 4 hours a week, which normally it would take 12 hours a week. And the way I did it was exactly through this high intensity, short duration intervals. So that's the type of exercise I recommend for you. It's just a matter of getting out there and doing it because you can do it. And it's just overcoming your excuses and figuring out what your why is and having your eyes on the prize. So if always, if you have questions, you can call the number below that's in the video here. You can reach out to us and we'd be happy to steer you in the right direction.